Hey everybody, clearing. Okie dokie, here we go. Oh, November sessions are open. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one over Zoom, grab a session through the link in the description below. And yeah, let's get into this. So thank you, Divine Creator. What can we see for the Divine Masculines? What is the instruction they are getting from the divine about this connection at this time? What information, what downloads are they receiving regarding everything to do with the connection and their divine feminine at this time? Wow, something just flew across the floor. The Knight of Swords, communication. Okay, so the bottom line is they know that they're going to need to communicate. They're feeling directed towards communication. All right, and what do they want to do regarding the 3D material realm with their divine feminine? All right, here we go. Conscious mind about the connection. What is it that they are getting? That they need more healing. King of Swords. That the way they've handled this connection in the past wasn't balanced, wasn't healed. It was, I heard, knee-jerk reaction based on the karmic way of interacting, based on codependency, based on trauma, trauma bonding, just heard. They did not handle this connection in a divine way because they had never navigated any connection in a divine way. What do they feel to do here is give it space. So they're being guided to sort of time heals all wounds, to wait until the dust settles with whatever they've done to mishandle this connection. And I'm also getting that it's not strictly that they, for instance, are wrong here, but they're taking accountability for their portion of the mistreatment, mishandling in some way. You also, divine feminines, are not perfect and have done things that in hindsight you would do differently here. Okay, so they're very much getting this energy of waiting until they see how things are supposed to be handled in a divine way. I'm also hearing them saying every time they know better, they have been doing better. And that includes applying themselves in their lives in general, even if it's not time to fully come forward here. They're setting the groundwork for that. What is the divine guidance, insight that these DMs are getting about their feminine specifically? Oh, justice in the inverse and keeping an open mind. So they're being guided not to quit this connection prematurely, right before the finish line, right before justice comes in. They're being guided to stick with it beyond their knee-jerk reaction is coming out again, to run when the going gets tough or to throw in the towel because things don't go their way. They're being guided to hang tight just a little bit longer. What would they like to do towards their, judgment. So yeah, justice and judgment, both in the inverse. This is a card of karma, and this is a card of legal matters. So they know that certain things need to fulfill, possibly legally, at very least karmically. They're waiting to see how certain things play out that affect your dynamic, your connection. So they're being guided to give space and to keep healing and to keep an open mind and not give up too soon on this just because it hasn't happened yet. What are these divine masculines being guided to be aware of on the heart space? Wow, Knight of Pentacles, to keep investing where they can, where it's appropriate, where it's grounded, where it's balanced, even in the face of adversity. We have the devil, but it's in the inverse. So they're being asked to really believe in love and to not let the devil energies play tricks on them that would cause them to give up on this too soon, but to stay slow and steady. When in doubt, choose love. What would they like to do towards the feminine here? Unconditional love, give and receive, the benefit of the doubt, compassion, integrity. They want to see you loving yourself, knowing that nothing they're doing is because they don't love you. They want to see themselves coming through, being susceptible to weak energy because of illusions, and they want to see you coming through that with flying colors as well. What can we see for the heart of hearts? What are they being guided on this connection? The truth. It's funny because we have the devil here, but in the upright, and it's not giving me the same vibes at all as the devil in the inverse here. This one is the every cell in my body. Like on their heart space, they know that you hold the keys of life and death in this connection, but not because you want to off with their head, because you are a righteous being who can tell on the deepest level, energetically, but also viscerally in your bones, in your DNA. Your DNA echoes with righteousness, and they can't come forward without knowing that that's how they want to handle this connection, as sacred, as holy, as righteous. And they know that your standards are set. The stakes are that high. They are being given an opportunity like no other to align with a divine feminine. It's a sacred opportunity. What would they like to do about this awareness? Inner bravery, be up for the challenge. They want to be able to take that leap. This card always looks like a bungee jumper about to jump off the edge. And so they're trying to muster the courage to actually believe that this is what the divine is telling them it is, and to risk their fear, to shoot their shot to someone who can tell the difference between fact and fiction. What is it that they would like to manifest here? What are they being given as divine awareness? Doing the inner work so that they can offer this new beginning in the physical to you, divine feminine. They're working up to it by restructuring their entire material life, emotional, conscious thoughts, physical circumstances. They're doing an overhaul on every level to come into maturity, to be able to offer you a legitimate offer, not just empty promises or wishful thinking. They're establishing the foundation that legitimizes their offer. Will you have me? What are they thinking about you? Waiting. This is a card of investment. There is the Ace of Pentacles, that there's a nest egg. They are establishing a financial foundation. They know that you are also working on establishing a base in the material realm, that you are in transition in some regard in your life, emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, in any way. it can resonate here. What is the action that these masculines wish to take? They want to speak their truth. They want to tell you you're the fairest in the land. I just heard that there is no one that they're more attracted to. They also want to match your soul's fire. The Queen of Wands is the spiritually embodied queen. So they want to show you that they understand the sacred responsibility of divine relationship. And in many ways, I'm hearing that it has meant more to them sincerely than you've ever talked about together. It really keeps giving me the impression that they have been aligning behind the scenes and not boasting, not, preaching about it, but buckling down and embodying what it takes to actually set this life in motion before inviting you in on it, feminines. What would they like to do towards their feminine? I mean, these are some intimate cards here, more than friends, and this very soul level attraction, righteous attraction, divine attraction. They may actually compliment you. They may show you they think of you as more than friends. They may actually send you a message, or friends, mutual friends may tell you that they've said something like that. There's something here where you're going to realize that you're very important to them in more than just a friend zone way. And your lives may have overlapped somewhat here, but this is definitely physical attraction. This is definitely soul level physical attraction here that they're going to express somehow. What is the biggest challenge that they are being guided to look at? To face the amount of emotions they have and to start talking to you from that place. The Knight of Cups is a messenger. The King of Cups sends that messenger out. So the biggest challenge is breaking the ice about how much emotional attraction, how much emotional awareness they have about the connection. What would they like to do? They would like to have you fully in their world. Like you do check off all the boxes. Like this is sort of, they don't know how to begin. Let me love thee, or I love thee, let me count the ways kind of energy. It's like all the ways. Absence really is making the heart grow fonder here. What can we see for the solution they're being guided? Oh, the Queen of Cups and the Six of Pentacles, to have reciprocity here, to give and receive, to love and be loved, to hold and be held. They want to acknowledge that you are their perfect match. King of Wands, but even though they see you as the perfect match, look at that. We've got the King and Queen of Cups, the love here, and then the King and Queen of Wands, but the King of Wands is not in the upright, so they don't feel like your spiritual equal yet. They want to show you this lion-hearted mastery. They don't feel that they are quite in that position. They don't have the liberty quite yet to confidently bring forward this assertion that you are the one, but we're getting very close. They are absolutely coming to terms with how legitimately you are a match for them spiritually, emotionally, heart and soul here. So this is beautiful because we do have the Ace of Pentacles, this physical foreshadowing that it's coming in as reciprocal in the physical, but the backing here is heart and soul. So they are still cleaning up their act, I heard. The Temperance card to begin with and the King of Wands, this is also my monogamous card. When it's in the inverse, it's not the player energy anymore. I heard I've been a good boy. Take gender how it resonates, and also man's energy. But they do feel like they are transitioning from a certain way of being into a match for someone like you, for you specifically. What is the direction in the near future that they're being guided towards? Ending the anxiety and sleepless nights and preparing for this new beginning. Continually preparing since the moment they met you, and even before, they were preparing for sacred union. The Emperor, dropping control but coming into it. So the Emperor is the king of all kings, has all of those elements. I think we saw the King of Swords in the inverse and the King of Wands in the inverse. So communicating about the spiritual connection, communicating from that place of spiritual mastery. Now that doesn't mean that they are religious, doesn't mean that they follow some kind of spiritual dogma. What this means is that they love. The most spiritual people are the most present, practical, grounded, and real. Hands down, whatever they call themselves, people who show up and love with their whole heart, with purity, those are the masters. And so these masculines are bringing in that sacred humility, dropping control, surrendering to this. This love is having its way with them. They are allowing this love to shape them, to change them, to elevate them. What can we see for the alchemy that is going on in the connections here at this time? Oh, that was too many. I didn't even look at them. When? There we go. Saturn still. Okay, so Saturn goes direct, I think, at the end of November. Astrologers in the audience, please post it below. I believe it was mid-July when Saturn started showing up in readings. I can't even tell you how many times this card has come up in personal readings. Wow. I was actually doing some tarot readings at an event, and this card fell out of the deck or got left behind in mid-July, and it was returned to me mid-August, and it made this really interesting sub-narrative in my July-August comings and goings, we'll say. And this card has started this week showing back up in personal readings quite regularly. Saturn is this Emperor energy, but domineering, controlling energy is not the healthy aspect of Saturn. When Saturn is balanced, it is the good leader, the steadfast and true, the structure that supports. It's the riverbed for the flow of water. Okay, Saturn is known as the great ruler, the authoritative father, and the structuring force. So with the masculines coming into spiritual leadership, I think we just saw the reading that said they were aligning with the Tao. The Tao is so feminine and balanced, but also in a leader. So, okay, Father and the structuring force, limitations, rules, logistics, and laws all fall under Saturn's claim, and they insist on our adherence. Saturn constricts, it corrects, it governs. The force of this planet is mind-bogglingly frustrating, especially for creative types, as it can feel like one limitation after another, yet its ability to support is unmatched. No creative project can come to be without the Saturnian qualities of commitment, endurance, and steadiness. Love is the most creative project on the planet. The tick of the clock reminds us of Saturn's steadfast presence, eternally measuring. It's no surprise it's associated with the metal lead and the qualities of density and weight. To embrace Saturn is to embrace the foundation and become one's own central authority. It's not as dull or easy as it sounds. That's Saturn's secret. So the external masculines are embodying this, and feminines, you are embodying this with going through the karmic process that you are going through in a sovereign way as your masculine is coming through theirs. So your internal form and structure, consistency, commitment to self and path and accountability is bringing you through, and these external masculines are mirroring it. All right, everyone, many blessings. Bye.